no get duplicate. But some people they run insane, them saying human beings to their grave. Brother, not true how they talk, make you look round the world. Prostitution they blow like now why some girls they kill their unborn child. If you go to motherless baby, you go see abandoned kids. Them they cry for the morning tea. It's clear.
Born out of the passion for the underserved and armed with no more than the sheer will to give hope and refuge to scores of vulnerable persons and orphans, Binta Medical Outreach and Binta Orphanage Home have catered to the needs of hundreds of orphans and displaced persons from all across the Northeast and beyond. Binta Orphanage Home was founded in 2013 following series of medical outreaches carried out by Binta Jalingo and her team in affected areas of Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Taraba, Benue and Gombe states. She found many orphans in a state of helplessness and took it upon herself to give hope to those children, and in that moment a dream was born.
Binta Orphanage and Binta Free Medical Outreach Africa born out of Tabitha Evangel Mission. Binta Free Medical Outreach has always been going for medical outreaches in northern areas of Nigeria. So in 2013 and 2014, during Boko Haram, we decided to take medical outreach and relief materials to Borno State. And on getting to Borno State, I found out there were lots and lots of orphans roaming the streets of Borno State, even the rural areas. So I was moved. So what I did was, I met the local government chairman, the emir of that area, some emirs. I met the Khan, and I discussed with them that sometimes when you take materials, the children that they are orphans don't even get it. It's those that have parents that could also get it. So that thing moved me. So I came for the second time and discussed with them that I need to pick these children and give them quality education. And the reason why I did that was the recurrence of Boko Haram in the nearest future, because some of these children saw their parents slain in their presence. Some, they killed all the family. Only one child was the one that survived, escaped. And that pain is in the heart of that child. So what came to my mind was that we must give them quality education and also counsel them so that they will not grow up to be worse than Boko Haram.
Beyond her efforts to extend medical rehabilitative services, basic life support and health emergency services to the most socially disadvantaged and vulnerable persons of the society through a medical non-profit organization, Binta and partners have for the past 8 years taken it upon themselves to provide scores of orphans with food, clothing, shelter and more importantly, quality education.
There are thousands and millions of orphans in Nigeria without school. What is government doing about that? And if government will not do anything, they are the one terrorizing Nigeria. Let me be honest with you. Some of them are the one terrorizing Nigeria. Armed robbers, banditries, all of them. If you pick all of them, maybe you find out 75% of them are orphans. They don't have parents. And any child that does not grow under parental guide can be very wild. So my cry is that the government should do something, and also they should make sure they support this move of training all orphans in Nigeria, if possible Africa, and giving support to all the medical NGOs who are going into rural communities, since they cannot go, and those ones cannot come to the city to be able to get good attention of them. Even if they come, how much do they have to pay? But Binta Free Medical Outreach Africa is going with doctors, many doctors in the rural areas, giving free medication, doing surgeries free. Yet these terrorists, not that they don't know, they know, and yet they went and bombed the orphanage that was meant for poor orphans. Maybe some of the terrorists, they have no fathers too. They know how painful it is.
Her orphanage home has a fully accredited primary and secondary school with 24 blocks of classrooms, complete with libraries, laboratories, hostels, cafeterias, and other administrative buildings. Over 180 children, many of them orphans she has taken in as her own children, attend the school absolutely free, are fed, clothed, and given all the support they need to lead normal lives. Many have graduated from secondary school, and a number of them have gained admission into higher institutions of learning, all expense paid for by Binta Jalingo and partners. In her quest to ensure that more of these children can go on to have better lives, she remains committed to empowering the success drive by providing quality education for them from the primary through the tertiary levels, absolutely free of charge. To sustain this, Binta Jalingo has begun work earnestly on building a university where indigent but bright students can attend for free and study a course in the medical sciences. The proposed Binta University of Medical Sciences is to be sited in Kashimbila, Taraba State.
I want to thank everyone that has been supportive concerning this orphanage. And nothing will stop these children from graduation. They will graduate, they will go to university, they will fulfill their destinies, because God has kept me as their destiny pusher. And I believe as many that are helping me to do that, God will reward them. You know, I have discovered that in every man, there are a lot of destinies tied to you. So I think the destinies of these children are tied to Binta Orphanage. And these children, as God is making ways, we are planning to have a free university so that all African orphans will have a free university education. The government should rise up to their responsibility and do something good for the orphans of Africa or Nigeria. I want to appreciate seriously the Board of Trustees, the staff of Tabita and Binta Orphanage, Binta Medics. I want also to appreciate the Board of Trustees. I want to appreciate Barrister Ima Ogebe. I want to appreciate the main fellowship of EYN, the Praise of His Glory Chapel. I want to appreciate so many people. If I said I'm going to call them one after the other, we won't finish today, but God knows you. And we have been praying that God will continue to prosper your ways. I was sent away forcefully by these same terrorists for 5 years. It was only the Board of Trustees, the staff, the Praise of His Glory Chapel, and others that I have mentioned. We are the ones that are catering for these children. What is my offense? My offense is simply, why did I bring the children that they killed their parents?
For her and her team, nothing is more important than to give hope to the hopeless and live for the sake of these young ones. And it is this passion that fuels her drive to do all that she can to ensure that their future is untainted by the horrors of their past experience. But alas, hope for the scores of orphans who depend solely on Binta for virtually everything seems to have been laid to waste again. What should have been consolidated has been destroyed. On the morning of August 2nd, 2021 in Miangu, Jos Plateau State, a group of suspected Fulani arsonists set the Binta Free Orphanage Home and Schools ablaze. In one night, over 30 buildings, including clinics, chapels, classrooms, hostels, and admin buildings, which had been built from years of toil, sweat, and selfless sacrifice, were burnt down, with properties worth hundreds of millions of naira destroyed in the process. Today, what remains of a once sprawling haven for orphans with no family anywhere else are mere rubbles and a handful of badly damaged buildings.
On the 2nd of August 2021, the Fulanis came to the camp, but before then, we've heard the rumors of them, they have been coming and burning houses before our own. So what we decided to do was, the admin officer called me, said, "Mommy, this is what is happening. How do we do?" I said, "Evacuate the children. The safety of the children is very, very important. Evacuate them." So the children were evacuated to Jos. That was first. And then on the second, the Fulani attacked and burned down houses surrounding us and also burned down our house. The camp, the orphanage that has a school, we have so many other things there, the library, the chapel, the administrative block, the hostels, so many things. They looted some things and left with them. The computer class that we filled with computer for the children to learn, because we are in a new age. So they burned down all those ones. And when I was told, what encouraged me was that since none of the child, because their intention was not only to burn the buildings, but was to burn everybody. And I asked why. Because these children, parents were killed by them, the same terrorists. And then they came after the children. Were they having intention to wipe the whole family? Like an orphanage like this, the Plateau State government will not say that he doesn't know about the existence of that orphanage that is free for the orphans whose parents were killed by terrorists. And yet we said we are fighting terrorism. If we are fighting terrorism, these children were part of these people, the reason why government itself could have put security for these children, because they need education. Like I said earlier, if we don't educate these children, they will be worse than Boko Haram. They will be worse than Boko Haram because they saw their parents slain. So my pain is that I don't know what to do with the children anymore. These are the children that need the love of Nigerians. They want us to care for, the government to care for. And then they are not being cared for by the terrorism, allowing terrorists, because the orphanage is not too far from the barracks. So I don't believe that anything that is happening, the barracks will not hear. And they are all the children of the military men are also there. I was just trying to give hope to these children so that they will not terrorize Nigeria in the nearest future again. After this fighting of terrorism, that by the time they succeed in conquering this one, let there be no one again that will rise up again as terrorists because their parents were killed. This thing happened, I am not available because I've been away, I've been having some challenges which I know that it is well. God is on control, and people are the ones, going around with for the issue of these children, especially the board and the staff. I still want to say thank you. I cannot thank you enough. And all the staff of these three arms, Tabitha Avenger, Binta Medical Outreach Africa, and Binta Orphanage, God will bless you all. You are wonderful people. It is God that has brought you to my way, and God will continue to uphold you and your families in Jesus' name.
Today, fear comes home and raw for the scores of traumatized children whose only crime was to be born in a nation with little mind for our future, in a region where the value of dignity for the human life means very little and decency is only for the hounds. As the fate of the school children, of the orphanage, the staff, and many other beneficiaries of the Binta group hang in the balance, the bigger question is, would love win in the end, or will hate persist?
Keeping the leaders of tomorrow, save them from this kind of sorrow. Spreading the pathway, Make them don't kill them, my brother, now they leaders of tomorrow. Make you hear me say, you should take care of the little children. You should take care of the little children. You should take care of the leaders of tomorrow.